This is a short video covering alternate uses of the cumulative shares column U in a ticker worksheet of the trade management spreadsheet. The user can enter values in column U to either override cumulative shares or forecast shares to buy or sell. This video is brought to you by PolarisInvesting.com, a site for creating defensible valuations. To access this video, take the YouTube link on the PolarisInvesting.com website that takes you here, and then at the bottom, select the Polaris TMS app playlist. Or you can view it directly from the Trade Management System spreadsheet by clicking on cell U3 in any of the ticker worksheets. Alright, the first alternate use here of column U that we will discuss is an advanced method called Cumulative Shares Override. It allows for any amount of shares to be bought or sold regardless of the percent of wealth threshold values here in column P. All orders buy or sell impact cumulative shares in column U. When an order is entered, the cell in column U is the last value to be updated. Cumulative shares override allows a user to override the number of shares remaining after the order has been executed. As such, the impact of the user override is not fully accounted for until the next row. Rebalanced wealth in the current row is not impacted by the override because the changes in the stock value and the cash value exactly offset each other. In the current row, the stock value, the cash value, and the change in shares, column T, continue to reflect the order in the row. Do not reflect the impact of the user overriding the number of cumulative shares in column U. The change in stock value and cash amount is reflected in the following row as what is called a carry forward. So as an example, let's say a user wants to change the automated generated order here on April 27th so that an even number of 300 shares is sold, leaving 130.02 shares. So you go to column U and you type in the remaining shares, and what you see is a pop-up message asking if you want to automatically record the carry forward in column CP of the next row. Typically you respond yes. Once yes is selected, you will see a comment entered into the next row indicating the negative cash carry forward as a result of selling fewer shares. If you scroll over to column CP, you will also see the carry forward amount. The next row now shows the reconciled stock and cash values. If the user had responded no, then it's up to the user to manually enter carry forward in column CP and comment in column AP in the next row, reflecting the impact of the cumulative shares override. If the user does not correctly make the manual entries, the impact of the cumulative shares override is erroneously reflected. The user should always enter a comment clearly indicating details of the carry forward. Instead of overriding with 100 shares, let's say a user sells so many shares that the cumulative shares goes negative. Like let's enter in negative 100 here. You can see that in the next row, the stock value is showing a negative amount. This is because the cumulative shares at this point is negative. Negative cumulative shares implies you have shorted 100 shares, and therefore the current stock value is negative. Look at another example. Let's say a user buys so many shares that the available cash balance is exceeded. Namely, it goes negative. To see this, let's override the cumulative shares with, let's say, 1,000. As you can see in the next row, the cash balance is negative as a result of purchasing those additional shares. A negative cash balance implies you have bought shares on margin. Next, going to discuss the second alternate use of column U, and that is to forecast shares to be bought or sold. Note that when using column U to forecast, the value in column U is the forecasted shares to buy or sell, not the default use of column U, which is the cumulative shares currently owned. Let's first talk about the scenario under which this would be used. What is shown is a live portfolio, and week to week triggers have been hit, causing orders to be done, namely a buy or sell. You can see here that some orders have been deferred and canceled, and here we are having just completed the week ending on June 24th with a sell order having been reached and then no shares remaining. So as long as comfortable actually executing the trade the following Monday, this works. But the Polaris database isn't updated till Saturday. So on the previous Friday, this row actually is not populated in the spreadsheet. It won't be populated until the data refresh is done on Saturday, and then the next available trading day would be the following Monday, the 27th, before the trade could actually be executed. But that brings in the weekend into the mix, and the possibility that the stock price could change from market close on Friday to the market opening the following Monday morning. And that's what happened here on the 24th, is that the trade wasn't actually executed on that Friday. It wasn't until the following Monday row 18 even appeared, and then the price come Monday morning wasn't exactly what the closing price was the previous Friday. So ended up going up here and making a manual entry indicating the price was different based on the data refresh that occurred on Saturday. To better coordinate with when the spreadsheet assumes the order is executed, namely Friday, there is a method that allows you to start earlier in the week before that Friday. You can forecast the likely trade that you'll need to make on the Friday. In fact, you can make the trade anytime, and then when the row gets updated for this Friday the 24th, you just manually enter the price and number of shares. To demonstrate this method of forecasting, let's assume it is Wednesday preceding Friday the 24th. So you see up here in the spreadsheet there is no entry in row 18 yet, because that won't occur until Saturday. You can simply go to column D in a row beyond a row that's occupied. When you first click on the cell, the row goes from being blank to showing the number of shares to buy and the current price. Clicking on it again, the row shows the number of shares to sell and the current price. Clicking on it again, the row returns to being blank. Now assume it's Wednesday and you decided to go ahead and execute a sale order, so you explicitly enter the number of shares that have been sold. Then you get a pop-up to indicate the price that you sold at. Now notice it defaults to what the current market price is, but let's say you sold it for slightly less than that. Go ahead and enter the exact price. And then you can see the price in column F and the number of shares in column U have been explicitly overwritten. Now, with the passing of the week and the spreadsheet being updated after the data refresh on a Saturday, you see that the subsequent week is now shown, and a cell is being automatically identified, but for 139.42 shares. Actually, you sold 140, so you need to come up here and indicate there's 100.56 shares remaining. And you sold shares for $95.95. And then you get ready for the current week by forecasting a buy. Since this video was recorded, a roll-up view of trending buy-sell orders across all the ticker worksheets has been added to the Portfolio Analyzer worksheet. This view is independent of using column U on any of the ticker worksheets to show forecasted buy or sell shares. Ticker, the view shows the number of shares to be traded and the cash amount associated with each trade. Shares in red indicate buy orders. Shares in green indicate sell orders. The gray cell, BH2, is used to view orders that are close to hitting a trigger. The default value is 0, which means a trigger must be hit for an order to appear in the view. Changing BH2 back to 2.5%, you see this stock here shows a trending buy order for 347 shares. At the current price, $28,684.76 will be used to purchase those shares. Okay, back to the original video. Okay, well, that's a wrap. This has been a video on the alternate uses of cumulative shares column U on ticker worksheets. Thanks for watching.